Good morning, beautiful people. I am on my usual daily walk on the way to LA Fitness Westwood from my apartment at Westwood Village Galleria. And yeah, first thing that came to my mind this morning that I want to kind of touch on, talk about, and probably expand on and reframe in a lot of our minds is homeless. So those of you from LA, from Venice Beach area, even my area, Westwood, we see these homeless encampments all over the place. And if we look at the news, we also see that, the state is coming in, whatever number of politics and games they're playing and power plays or whatever moves they're trying to make. At the bottom of it, we hope it's to help. However, a lot of times the media kind of makes it look like they're just coming in and tossing people out. I've actually taken the time to kind of observe and sit back and look and see what they're doing a couple times when I see all the vehicles out there. And I don't see people getting tossed around, locked up, and dealt with badly. Also, don't exactly see a lot of love and care being, shared out there, not by the people that are coming in to move them out, but definitely other people, as far as giving food, giving snacks and stuff away. That's really cool to see. Just, the larger community in general coming out to help. But for me in particular, when I see the homeless, and this might, I don't know, sound selfish or whatever, it's the way I frame it in my mind and the first thing that pops in my head is when I see homeless sitting there, I'm just like, shit, I'm one bad decision, one bad move, one, consequence if I do something like that away from sitting right there in that same exact position. And that's both scary and very humbling at the same time. And over time now, every single time I kind of see that, that's the first thing that pops in my head. Obviously, the compassion and caring side is there as well. Um, I feel like as most humans, we don't want to see other humans suffer, even if we don't particularly like those certain humans. I believe all of our natures have something good in it that starts with, that innate kind of compassion and care for our neighbors and other humans around us. And for me in particular, I feel like this is for the majority of people, regardless of what the media says. It hurts to see other people suffering in that sense. So, throughout the years, I used to live downtown LA. Now I'm on the west side. Many homeless in both areas. I started a tea company. I didn't really know what to do with it, but I knew that after selling hair, I was looking for something that was more of a kind of give back and help and heal type of thing. So I started a Manali Tea Company. And it took me maybe minutes to come up with the slogan for Manali Tea Company and the mission statement. And that was that we wish to change the way the world deals with their pain, one cup of tea at a time. Now, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when we first started this company, CBD and CBD products were basically banned for any kind of advertising. Most marketplaces and payment providers weren't exactly taking payments for it either. So we're in kind of a weird position. And, I did tea festivals and things like that, but a larger picture came to me and I was like, you know what? I can grab some tea, I can grab some water, and I can basically go out downtown Skid Row, North Hollywood areas, and just distribute this stuff for free. And what I started doing in basically just a sense to help out and to give back, I learned a whole lot from it. And one of the biggest things I learned was the reason I think what I do now about how we're one step away from that is some of the people I talked to. I met this one young lady near the exit off 101 and Hollywood Boulevard. When I walked by her tent and I was, saying water, food, I looked in, I peeked in, and she was standing outside of it, and she had like all of her makeup lined up and, it's different things like perfectly in an organized fashion inside of her tent. And I don't know why, it intrigued me. I was like, tell me what's going on. Like, where'd you come from? Like, how are you here right now, etc. And she was like, man, I had a roommate and a regular job and everything was okay. And then, one day me and them got in an argument I had to leave and I quit my job at the same time and my family's far away and here I am. And I was just, wow, like such a complex, human story. Also at the same time, so simple. Just a couple, not even bad choices, just fateful or, you know, the way things supposed to happen kind of moves in times and situations and circumstances. And that's where she ended up. And she was sober. I don't feel like that, especially people that are out there and that have the ability and the blessing to not, turn to drugs and alcohol. I think that they know that they're in a temporary situation. They'll make it out of it. But all the more. That's kind of what I get from it is just like, we're one step away from it basically. And I know it kind of sounds like my past, like as a kid going from boot camp to jail to prison to near death and this and that. It almost sounds like a survival mode type of mechanism and hustle that I keep within me. And granted, that might be partly true. And that's a part of me that I accept and love now because it has actually allowed me to progress greatly in all business aspects of my life, financially, even socially somewhat. So, I'm definitely grateful for it. And I also see how it could be almost like a revert to something more that's, along the lines of survival mode. But, yeah, that's why I started this podcast actually is just as someone who graduated a philosophy major, as someone with a life story like we all have, and as someone now turning into introspection and looking to help and heal with that life story, I find it so cool to see how many small topics we can just find expansion and growth in, such as just like homeless. Do I know what to do to solve the homeless epidemics and the issues? No, not necessarily. Do I have a grand plan or idea? No. I do believe that we live in a world of abundance, and in America especially, we take a lot of that for granted. As everyone saw when COVID came along, there was a surplus of money and different things were able to happen, and suddenly, why can't that be the norm? Why can't we give some of these vacant housing and buildings and somehow make that work financially for the landowners, for the, leasers, leasees, everyone to make it work for the homeless, to make it work as temporary housing to get people back on their feet. Um, from the homeless I've encountered, most of them just need a level, a step ladder. They need to get to the next step and then, they have the mentality of work, hustle, and drive in them, which, can always be raised to higher vibrations as they are able to kind of slowly move up that ladder. So if we can do something like that for them, that would definitely be helpful. I do see like the small homes in LA being built in small spaces of land, and I love that. I think that's great. I think that that's definitely one of the stepping stone things I was talking about for them. So yeah, I mean, if anybody listening in has any kind of comments or ideas and stuff, this is why, this is what social media is for. This is why we're all connected now to, as the world grows, as technology expands, and there's more people, we have more ability to connect and to brainstorm and put good ideas together and create beautiful things for the world, for each other, for ourselves, for the community, for the planet, all together. So we should use it for those instead of just, doing 20 million takes to get a perfect smile on Facebook in the new, whatever that brand is, bikini or one dress, whatever it is. I can't even think of the name, Fashion Nova. Let's use it for this stuff. And I love people that are online doing that. And these days, it's so weird how sometimes I hop on things at the same time I look around and realize, wow, it's like the trend right now. But these days, there's thousand Instagram gurus, yoga gurus, wellness, healing, coaching, meditation gurus, life coaches, this and that, and I love it. It's great. It's great to see that people are actually leaning towards that way. I just, I really, really respect the ones that are actually putting in the work versus just trying to show us they're putting in the work. And I think that's more of a feeling thing. I think you kind of feel that and see it versus are told about it. And, as people in that space, wellness meditation, we're pretty adept and in tune with feeling that feeling versus just seeing what people are telling you. So yeah, y'all, I'm about to walk into LA Fitness in a second, get my little workout on. My shoulder's kind of messed up. I don't know what's going on with it. It's not my right shoulder from tennis. It's my left shoulder. It's just, I feel like I got a little pin in it. So I'm just kind of trying to push through it, get it stronger right now. But yeah, tune in with me for the next episode. And stay blessed, stay beautiful, stay healthy. Sending love and peace to you all. Hit me up at my website, rockycandola.com. Follow my podcast, send me some messages, and tell me some things you guys would like to rap about, talk about, brainstorm about, go back and forth on. And I'd love to bring it up and possibly have one of you guys on with me one of these days. All right, now, take care, everybody. Peace and love.